In this video, I'm going to provide an overview of the purchase order approval process. Today, we'll cover how to enable purchase order approvals, creating a purchase order as a manager for approval, how to approve the purchase order from an email, and the send logic for it going to your supplier. All right, let's get into it. So I'm logged in here as an administrator, and admins are the only accounts that have the ability of approving POs. We're going to head over to the settings, and you'll notice that there's a new setting here for purchasing, and we're going to click on that. And there's a toggle switch here that enables approval for PO flow. By enabling this, this will turn on the approval flow. When it's off, your managers or techs will not have the need to get approval from a manager. I'm going to back out and log out of this account, and we're going to log in as a manager. All right, I'm logged in as Paul, who is our service manager, and I'm going to click on purchase orders, and we're going to create a brand new purchase order together. In the right-hand corner, I'm going to click create new. We're going to choose a supplier that this purchase order needs to go to. All of these other fields are optional here. And there's a ship to location, which we can also include now for active jobs. I'm going to choose my default warehouse and click next. I'm not going to invite any users. And I'm going to add a few items here to add to our purchase order. And then we'll add some quantity to generate the purchase order. Click next. And we'll just preview the purchase order to make sure everything is good before we send it off for approval. I'm going to click create purchase order. And at this point, the purchase order is created as a draft. So Paul needs to come into the purchase order and send for review. And I'm going to click send for review here. And you'll see that the status has been changed to waiting for review. I'm going to back out here. And I'm going to log in as our administrator again to give Paul approval for this purchase order. All right, I'm logged in as an administrator now, and I'm going to head over to the purchase orders tab and click on waiting for approval. And we can see that this purchase order is waiting for approval. And we actually just also received an email as well. You can see here, this PO approval requested for this purchase order. And we can click on PO details. This is really helpful if you're out in the field and you get an email from one of your technicians or your manager, and you can very easily accept or decline this purchase order after we review it. So I'm going to click accept purchase order and click approval. And at this point, the purchase order status is changed to sent. And it's going to ask me to return to the purchase orders tab if I'd like. And if we go over to the sent tab, this purchase order that we then approved from Paul, who's our manager, it's now been sent over to our supplier, Global Industries, and they have received it. At this point, the supplier can then go through the supplier acknowledgement process if they would like. So they can acknowledge or decline the purchase order, and you'll also receive a notification about that as well, and it will show up in one of your statuses. Let us know if you have any questions about the purchase order approval process.